The Battle of Las Navas De Tolosa in 1212 AD, the turning point in the Reconquista in Spain. The armies of Aragon, Castile and Navarre have united to rid Spain of the Muslim invader. Led by the Almohad Caliphate, they want to hold on to Spain for once and for all under Muslim rule, but the Christian forces will not allow it. Today we are recreating that battle, and we will see whether history will repeat itself. Hey Legionnaires, I am PopeJohnPaul, and we're here with another 1212 AD historical battle for you today. And as I said, this is the Battle of Las Navas De Tolosa, and yeah, this is a pretty good one. It's a huge 4v4 that we have going on here, and as you can see, we have some we already have some Aragonese cavalry going into the fray here against the Almohad Caliphate. Some Hidalgos here that look like they're taking on, I don't know exactly, Jund al-Nazara. So some pretty heavy cavalry there. The Jund cavalry looks very similar to like Christian sort of cavalry. You can see there, like the armor is very, very similar. So it's almost like Christians versus Christians. But yeah, they look. I mean, look at that hat. That looks awesome. That helmet, not hat. But yeah, as you can see here, these units actually are losing. So good charges here by the Hidalgos have allowed some early victories there. I mean, actually, yeah, this one, yeah. So yeah, the Hidalgos are winning all of these, and like, as you can see, the Navarre and Aragonese armies are now arriving in time just to support their cavalry line if they want to. I was taking part in this one. I was playing as this faction here. I was playing as Navarre. I felt like it'd be a little bit of a nod to my Navarre campaign I did for 1212 AD. Felt like I'd give them another go and try them out on the battlefield. As you can see, we have the Cavalry here, which has done so well in our previous campaign, getting a lot of kills. If you haven't checked out that campaign, I fully recommend you go and do so. It's a really, really fun campaign as we do our Reconquista of Spain ourselves, but with Navarre. As you can see here, the Almohad Caliphate is taking this big old hill here, and then they've also got a huge force still out on this left-hand side here, and cavalry really, really far away. Look at all this cavalry, like so far into the forest. Not realizing that we have nothing over here. We have everything of ours going straight over this river. But yeah, this was a map made by one of my admins, who's a really nice guy. Did this map for the scenario. It's kind of a pretty, he said it's fairly accurate to what it looked like. He tried to make it accurate, kind of changed it up a bit. Also, it's a bit different from just like the basic land battle that you just kind of see. So I was kind of interested by it, and it looks certainly quite cool. Definitely have to try some other sort of battles out on it at some point. But it's still also a work in progress. So it's like, you can see there's like seas and stuff all over the place that probably shouldn't be there in history. But yeah, and now you can see that this infantry is in this Mazrab Jund. They're probably now going to start turning the tide. You can see these Hidalgos are starting to lose decisively. They need to get some of their own infantry in there, do Aragon, so they can then pull their cav out and get them moving elsewhere. As you can see, my spear line is starting to move up. I'm keeping it in shield wall here as we desperately march up this hill. These men praying to the Almighty that they don't get hit by a crossbow, which I will just say, they have so many crossbows. All of these are Andalusian heavy crossbows as well, so they're really good crossbows. There's like no point even shooting them with our crossbows because like we don't pierce their armor. Better just to run them down or catch them with infantry. But as you can see, it's very finely placed. We have the same amount of men. Sees who's got the better quality. But yeah, if you're enjoying seeing the historical battles at the moment on the channel and would like to see some more, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment showing your support. And also, if you want to get involved in some of these scenarios, then the Discord link, like my Discord link, is down below in the description of this video. And yeah, just come and join, and then you can get involved in some battles like this. And whether it's historical or not, whether it's just with a random game, or just to get involved with a really good Total War community, even if you don't want to play battles. More than welcome to do so. You can see a cavalry unit here charging down, routing these peones here, but now they're getting absolutely focused down by crossbows. They got a lot of kills in that cavalry. Really, really nice play there. So I mean, even though they took out like a light sword, they lost a cavalry unit in return. I feel like it's a good payoff there. Over on this flank, we also got charged here. My infantry, there being a hole in the line here, these Jund al-Nazara, however you say it. That cavalry basically just charged me, and yeah, these peons have just routed. But it's okay because we have more to replace them, these peon knacks. We have plenty of them. These light swords, hopefully we can do some work. We don't have any heavy sword. Well, actually, I take that back. We do have some heavy swords, but they're like back here. These Spanish Order Foot Knights. We were limited on how many of these we could bring. It's like one of these per army. And then I also have my other elite sword unit, which is somewhere. I have no idea where it is. Oh, there it is. These guys. These guys are pretty cool. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this name. But these are a pretty elite unit as well. So I'm going to need these guys in the fray and hopefully win some battles, because that's where we have the advantage, these heavy infantry. Our cavalry's now intermixed here and fighting. My cavalry did not get great charges off here. It was pretty poor. But I'm going to get a good charge here into the infantry and the cavalry. There we go in. I'm going to rout this Jun sword once and for all. Everything's tier 1 because obviously we are fighting in like the early period, so it only makes sense to use early period units. You can see some spears going in now. I'm just trying to pin everything down so they can't use it. I want to have a solid battle line, so then they then can't use the cavalry through the center like they've been doing quite effectively so far. The cavalry here doing quite well. Going to rout this sword unit here. We now have the general, a caliph here, coming round. This is the main general. It's the caliph. It's like their king. And he's going to go in for an attack. It looks like on all these javis. But there's oh no, this is more cavalry here as well. Look at all this cavalry appearing. Oh no, they've changed their mind. The caliph's gone back. But all this cavalry's coming in. Oh, this is going to be a nice charge. And then they go. There's like nothing here to stop them as well. We have a king's bodyguard for Castile, or one of the Castilian armies, but that's not going to be useful. We can't have that really fighting. These poor Javis now have got to hold on and stop all this cavalry coming up. Over on the other side, yeah, we're having a pretty rough time. We're kind of getting forced back a bit. Their spears are really, really heavily armored. So we're having a bit of a time getting through them. We are beating a few of these units, but not enough, you may say. And we still have an entire army just lingering here. We could really do with this army into the field. Because if we can get into the field, you can see they are streaming more and more men in. We need to keep bringing in as many men as possible as well. Otherwise, we're going to get 3v4, I guess, or 4v3. Probably the better way of putting it. The spears in here, battling hard. I love the Jun swords, the early period. I think they look really cool. Cavalry again coming through the center, you can see here. Could go after anything. These Spanish Order Foot Knights gonna have to form square. This is form shield wall. That would be a really good target. He didn't go after them. He went after my spears here instead, which I was kind of okay with. I'd rather have went after them than my really heavily armored Spanish Order Knights. We're now going into combat. Well, they look like they were going to go. Are they chasing the cavalry down? They look like they are. We're going to get pinned down here in a moment. Look at these Crusaders. Oh, well, they're carrying on. I don't know where they're going. Oh, they're going into these Jun swords here. Okay. Well, they should win that fight quite easily. Where's my other elite sword? It's not actually gone to the combat yet. But now our pikes coming up. These are Piones de Elite. Elite pikes, I'm going with. Piones de Elite. They look quite elite. What a chainmail. They might turn the tide, because that's something that the Muslims don't have. A really good charge there, though, by a general. Mounted Abid Almohad. Well, however you see that. You just charge into a really elite unit here. These Monteros are nasty. And you want to keep them alive. They've just been charged. You know, this cavalry here done a good job. Put it like that. And now they've been counter-charged by some Hildagos, but it's a little late. They need to focus down some generals, perhaps. Over here, it's just a spear battle. Spears sparing spears. I mean, if the who's this? If Castile, if he wanted to, could take this cavalry and it's just Hildaga come through here, but you can walk through any of these rivers, and you could go up here, flank around, and you could threaten all of these flanks if you wanted to. Over on this side, you can see that the cavalry is just still arriving. There's still more and more cavalry. That Muslim cavalry that's been late turning up to the battle. And now we're now fighting someone here. This is two generals. Oh no, it's not. It's just the one. My generals here. We have the Cavalleros here as well, doing their bit. More cavalry or Hildagos here going into the forest, dealing with these cavalry. Just constant cavalry seemed to be coming out there. We were so confused where this all was coming from. We seemed to kill one and 2 more cavalry units appeared. But they are breaking through the centre here, you can see, and we have no infantry here to stop them. So yeah, as you can see, the Javis going in, they're going to sacrifice themselves. These Javis are actually okay in combat. They're not like the greatest, but they'll do okay. They're better than my crossbows, put it like that. These guys at least have a shield. But it looks like we're going to see maybe a rear charge from this cavalry. Maybe. This is Hildago unit here. Where's it going? Oh, it's going to go to the rear of this unit. Okay, that was a really last minute charge. Probably could have done a little bit better. Now they need to bounce off that one and go into this whole Jun sword here, and then they could route that. But we are breaking here. You can see my spears are holding back a whole mass of infantry. I mean, so are these peons here. My cavalry is also involved in this fight here. Really needs to get out of combat. But if it doesn't leave, if it leaves combat, then the problem is that there's more infantry just come swarming in. As you can see, the swords so much, and now you can see that finally this final Castilian army is coming across the river. But I mean, it may be a little too late. We have like a load of sword units here with Javis. These guys are probably quite good. I mean, they're certainly useful with the Javis, but we're going to need their men in combat soon. Don't exactly know what they're shooting at either. They need to get in combat very, very soon. We have more cavalry going back across the river, I think, to deal with all this cavalry over here that we're seeing. And then you can see I'm pulling back my cavalry now. Kind of traded a bit with cavalry, but not like enough. Jun swords breaking here. I'm sending in my final elite sword unit. My Navarre born and bred. Back to the fight, yes. Keep it fighting, men. For God! We must rid the Arabs from Spain. Muslims are holding on, though. They're holding on. They've still got a lot of forces as well. Look at all the Jun swords there are, just like we've got to cut through. And there's still a lot of crossbows as well. We've not dealt with any of their missile units, which is the issue. We need to get our cavalry moving. We need to win the cavalry fights so that we can start looping around. But it looks like with the amount of forces here that we could just be trading cavalry for a long time. We are breaking the center. The pikes here are forcing back the Jun swords. Men are running, it would seem. At least we broke this cavalry over here. You can see it's all wavering now, all losing as well. That's good. See, there's more cavalry coming over here. What a mess this is. It's such a huge, huge battle. Just so many different various colours. Who do you know who's who? I guess you kind of tell from uniform, but barely. Barely. Hey, okay, so we are back. Unfortunately, I had to go and just do something else. So I am back now. Unfortunately, yeah, it'll be a little bit of a cut. So you'll have maybe seeing a few things over again, but we are back. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Looks like the Arabs are holding the line there. We are wavering them here, as you can see. The pikes are forcing them back ever so slowly. Over on this side, though, with the new arrivals of Castile on this flank, we are starting to turn it around a little bit. There's a very, very massive fight. All 4 of the Spanish commanders were everywhere. And it seemed like it was the same for the Arabs as well. They seemed to be like, their commanders were just throwing in the units wherever the holes started to appear. So it was an absolute mess. It really, really was. As you can see, this long line is still holding on for a very, very long time at this point. We are routing the cavalry over here. Done a very good job in getting rid of all that. And now we were sending our cavalry across the river here. We were trying to attack these sword units that were, well, threatening the flank of our infantry. As you can see that we have like a lot of skirmishers here in combat. It's mainly them holding the back. There are some dismounted caballeros in here, but yeah, we need a lot more. We need a lot more infantry over here. They have a whole horde of Jun swords here that are holding us back, and we need to get around these spears so we can get to these crossbows because they're running out of cavalry. They still have their generals. They still have like a couple of generals, but we need to. If we can get these crossbows, then we can certainly do a lot of damage. You can see that there's spears here retreating. They're going to get rear charged by cavalry. That's not going to be so good. Spears, even if they're getting rear charged, will be punished. Spears aren't are anti-cav, but only when they're looking the right way. Cavalry's not having to get out of there, though, otherwise they'll get sandwiched by spears. You see that they're trying to break through the centre here. But Jun's swords doing their best. Got the Spanish Order Foot Knights in here. Hopefully the Spanish Order and the Foot Knights get a lot of kills. I'm expecting them to get like a couple of hundred kills. These guys are like head and shoulders above like any of the infantry units that the Almohads have to offer. They're also probably head and shoulders above the height of any of them. I doubt that's true. I'm sure the Almohads got equally tall men to the Europeans. They're not a race of dwarves, if only. That would be kind of funny. But yeah, you can see that the light swords here are broken through. We're now getting charged by cavalry though. This is a general coming in. So a good response there by the Almohads. Just the charging their general. And they're going to try and stop the general, stop the routing anyway. Like you can see both these units are losing. That one's now gone okay, but they need more infantry into the Arabs. Their centre is breaking. They have a real issue there. And now with the new Castilian forces arriving, there are... Well, they were losing in some areas, but you can see some of these spears are winning. They need to get this Castilian cav moving and doing stuff. Like, if they just sent it around here, then they could go for archers, then they could rear charge all of this. Like on this flank here. Then it'd be all freed up. This general could come over, yeah, but that's a big risk, bringing that general all the way over. Now, like, yeah, so, I mean, this Castilian cav just needs to go around here. Route this crossbow, then rear charge everything. And he's got support of archers and other generals and pikes even, if he gets into trouble. But that's definitely what he needs to do. That cavalry needs to move. Spears fighting spears here. It seems to be the story of the battlefield, to be honest. They have so many spears, the Almohads. I mean, they don't have any swords, like any good swords. Well, they got the Juns. The Jun swords aren't amazing. Their spears are so heavily armoured. Like, look at on the left, that's the Almohad spears. And then on the right is the Castilian and like Spanish spears. You would have thought it'd be the other way around, like in history, but no. A weird one, I'll tell you that. They still have some cavalry over here to the Almohads. They still manage to have a sneaky bit of cavalry here, 39 men. They're trying to, they might have to deal with these Aragonese cavalry that's now coming across. You can see the cavalry here though is being dealt with quite effectively, which is why the Hildagos on the other side need to get moving. Here they go, they are going now. They're being shot at already. They're down to 66 men. They could do with running down this crossbow unit. And if they can do that, I mean, you can see they're breaking through here quite decisively. Are the Castilians now? They've got all their fresh units into the fight. What's here? John's swords holding us back. A lot of spears in here. Swords will beat spears, that is the thing though. That's why you kind of like, even though like the spears for the Almohads might be better, like swords will beat them. And look at this big rout on this side for the Almohads as well. My general helped just cause a huge chain out, though he's now struggling to get out of combat. And he's getting shot at quite heavily here by all these crossbows and stuff, and he's going to get charged by the by another general here, the Patana al-Rum. In he comes. He's chasing them all down. My poor general in his glorious uniform though. Look at him, ready to go. And now you can see that my general is breaking, and yeah, that is unfortunate. So like all that push that we made, and like that all those gains we made from all these routing units, we've lost because they've just silenced him with this general going in. Though he is now losing in combat, he's now being pinned down by other caballeros. And we need to focus him down with the archers and stuff. You see where they are winning over him. A King's bodyguard just routed some Jun swords as well. That's big. Some skirmishers having to go back into combat here. They're throwing javies in point blank range at that general as well. And there you go, my general has died, and that was a crucial bit in the battle. I was the first to lose my general. My infantry is starting to waver in a lot of areas, but I'm still breaking through here. You can see on the left side we are doing a lot of damage here now, and there's only like one spear unit like holding us back. These ones are all like beaten once, so they'll probably rout again very soon. It's the pikes. The pikes doing a really good amount of damage.
Rallied and returned to the battle. Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Yeah, these pikes are really, really good. Doing a lot of good work. These crossbows need to get moving up though as well. They're like just at the back of the battle kind of doing nothing. They've not got much to aim at here. They need to start aiming at other stuff like maybe these generals that are now getting involved. Got a spear unit here that's trying to scare off a general unit, another Patana al-Rum. We are breaking through some areas, but we've just seen a mass rout there for cavalry. Lots of caballeros, and the Hildagas now breaking here. That's a big, big loss. Now we've got more infantry going in. We're just trying to like destroy as much stuff in here. There's another general in here as well, General's bodyguard for Castile. Such a mess. And these heavy crossbows, at least we got one of these guys in combat. They don't do so well once they're in combat, especially against cavalry, I guess. But yeah, you can see this cavalry that was doing such good work for us. Like this Hildaga went and got itself isolated out here. All he needed to do was carry on like going along this line here, routing everything, just rout everything. But instead he started going in deep after crossbows and stuff, and he got himself killed by two generals here. It's a real shame. But there we go, we have killed another general. That is the Patana al-Rum one that killed my general. So we did get revenge. So yeah, here he is, he's dead. Got 16 men left, but he's very much dead. Got the King's bodyguard here. He's routing more cavalry as well, so that's good. That's 34 cavalrymen left as well. That's a big unit left. We need to get that general out of there. King's bodyguard is on 23 men. Jeez, definitely get him out of there. Because he's about to get shot down by Andalusian heavy crossbows and be chased by spears. Get him out of there. He's gonna die. I don't think he's realized he must be doing some stuff elsewhere. As you can see, the spears are now gonna come in, and yeah, this general. Yeah, there you go. Just lost his general like that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, got shot down by crossbows. A real shame. This general now getting out of here. So morale is definitely with the Almohads. But we still have some really quality infantry, as you can see here. The Caballeros still fighting in hard. Gotta love the uniforms of Castile. Do look good. What are these? These are Monteros. Okay, they're a cool unit. You can see here that my crossbows are now in combat. They're actually wavering. These guys are just like militia. They are not that great. And they're getting chopped down by Jun swords. But they're actually wavering as well. You can see we're pushing hard here on this left-hand side now. We've basically cleaned up the left. It's all their forces are really on the right. Really, we need to transfer more stuff to the right, help deal with that, and then just kind of leave the left. We should have just held this line here. Just hold this line here. Shouldn't keep pushing forward with the infantry. And my spears are going in, just silencing these Andalusian heavy crossbows that otherwise are just shooting me point-blank range. Cavalry, though, they still have some cavalry live to the Almohad Caliphate here, and they're just going off with this cavalry. And they go. Look at this guy's lone cavalryman. Oh, he's getting killed. Very good. Cut him down. But yeah, it's very, very close in numbers. There's about 3,300 left on either side. We have a lot of crossbows. They have a lot of crossbows. It's like the majority of their force, you could almost say. Like, certainly a good portion, maybe a third of their army is made up of heavy crossbows. Spears are winning here, though, against crossbows. Like I said, these crossbows, once they're in combat, they're not that great. They're not that great. And they look like they're going to die. They're routing now. They still have the generals alive. We need to kill a few more generals. So I was desperately like telling my allies just to shoot their generals at this point. I was like, if we kill their generals, like, there's so much being general sniping, but if they're openly going to use their general like this, he's going to charge him in. He's getting shot at. And yeah, he needs to be killed. We have plenty of crossbows here. They're like, you can see we've got some Castilian crossbows here. They are getting chased down. I am trying to like get my militia crossbows out of combat. Try and focus this guy down. More cavalry coming in here. We've got a general here, King's Bodyguard. He probably wants to try and like go in and maybe pin one of these generals down. Because if we can kill their generals, then they should rout. These units for the Almohads don't have great morale. These guys holding shield wall, Jun swords and the shield wall, they'll hold for a while. It's one of the few things that they need to do if they want to win this. They need to stay in shield wall. Spanish Order Foot Knights wavering at 85 men. Unthinkable. These elite units. Getting rear charged though, I think, by cavalry, which is the issue. Or rear charged by infantry, in fact. So yeah, look at that. My line's starting to waver and go. Even the elite swords and stuff won't withstand like being rear charged by spears. And it's looking really, really like close. I mean, they've taken a lead of about 300 men now. But there's still hope. They've got a lot of wavering units. My spears have rallied here. And we've got a general here. You can see King's Bodyguard. He's trying to rout some of these spears. Or distract them from fighting my troops. And there you go, my swords, my Spanish Order Foot Knights break. I don't know how many men they had left. Quite a few, I think. Yeah, they had 61 men left. That's pretty high for them for breaking in this sort of tier of battle. Certainly this spear unit as well should be breaking 106 men. But it's getting surrounded. They're fighting for their lives. They're giving their last prayers to God and Christ, hoping they'll be spared and have a place in heaven, but they're breaking, so they won't get a place in heaven. Because they'll live on. They didn't die a good Christian death in battle. But you can see we've won on this left-hand side. There is still hope. We're kind of swiveled now. And it's just kind of like who's got more assets. And I'd say that with these generals, they possibly have more assets, possibly. Also, we are lacking in infantry, like mainline infantry. They have a lot of swords left. We have mainly pikes left, which obviously just get focused down by stuff. We have like one sword here. We have a spear over here, which will be useful. We need to get them into the action. I've got one spear unit here as well. That's now pinning down some crossbows. These crossbows, they pull out a shield and sword, you can see. Some of them have, anyway. I think that might be the officer, actually. But even still, like, it takes a little while for these guys to get killed, and especially since I'm using spears as well. It's such a pain. Got crossbows firing over here, just trying to get a few more kills. Or weaken some units or support someone. Only issue is that the pikes are getting focused down by crossbows and stuff. And I don't know if these guys are just breaking because of like low morale, army losses, no general. I'm not quite sure. Exhaustion. They're fighting a foe with no general. This unit here on the right has no general apparently. These pikes should eat them for breakfast. But will they? No, they won't. They'll rout. And there you go. An ally's been routed. So I think that was one of the Castilian armies got routed first. I am looking like I'm going to be following soon. I'm desperately just firing down a few more shots. We're getting shot at, I think, as well by well, all these crossbows that they still have left. These crossbows are the pain. There you go. I am now gone. And it's just down to Castile and Aragon. They need to have these men stopped overlapping because they'll then fire all their units. I think they're firing at the general here. They better be because he's about to charge in. They kind of get an okay charge. I mean, there's so few of them. They can't, like, the mass of the cavalry won't get that great a charge. Surely this general's going to die. What is this? This is a Batana al-Rum. Yeah, he needs to die. Need these crossbows firing. Need everything firing. Need this general to do some stuff as well. Maybe charge some spears here. I'm not sure. The spears are going to pin down the crossbows now, and this is probably going to be the end of the battle. So I'm just going to fast forward at this point. You can see that we're just being chased down. And yeah, it looks like history is going to be changed. It looks like the Battle of Las Navas De Tolosa is going to be a Muslim victory, and the Reconquista will not be turned in favor of the Christians. It'll probably be turned in favor of the Muslims, and they may continue with their conquest of the peninsula. And it may be another dark few years for Christendom. There need to be more crusades and more holy warriors sent to the region by the Pope. There you go. The King's bodyguard got a decent charge off their route. Those two spears. That was really good. Maybe he can do it. Maybe he can save Spain. The King of Aragon. Unlikely. But he can try. I mean, these Jun's swords broke just from the sheer sight of the enemy. These swords might break. There's still so many. That's the thing. Their morale is so poor. The Almohads. So it's like, it is a like, if you can kill a general off, Almohads are in a real sticky position. Down to 600 against 1400. And most of these men are just archers. King's bodyguard here might as well just charge into something. He's getting shot by crossbows. You can see all the crossbows now getting engaged with the Jun swords. These poor men. And here we go. I can hear the sound. Oh no, I thought that was the sound of the cavalry going off, but no. They're still stood there. Oh, here he goes. Should rout this unit. There you go. That's a nice charge. Runs down everything there. Jun swords just about gone. They're getting shot to pieces now. Oh my gosh, this cavalry. Yeah, that's the general dead. Oh my gosh, just destroyed. And there you go. The crossbows will break. And that'll be the battle. You got some spear. We got some pikes over here. These men are elite. Of course they'd return. But they're now just getting shot down by crossbows. Look at this. I think at this point this was like the AI. One of the players like left. But yeah, it's just the AI just charging. Charge for Spain! And they'll get gunned down by all the crossbows. And there you go. That is the battle. A valiant defeat for the Christian forces in Navarre. So we'll end the replay and have a look at the end results. like I said, I was playing as Navarre. I did okay, nothing like amazing. My cavalry could have done better. 76 and 25 certainly could have done better. 176 is okay. Crossbows did like average. They're not amazing. These swords 170, which is okay. Again, they broke a bit too early for my liking. This one here, 91, did not do great. I should have brought another Spanish Order Foot Knight. My light swords didn't do amazing, but they helped break through the center. My spears did especially well for spears. 168, I was quite impressed with that. My general getting 189 kills. I think that's actually the best unit out of my army, so well done to him. Then we have the real Alex Albon here, who created the map. His general here getting 164 kills. His light swords 72, which is okay. His Javi infantry, like Javi hybrid infantry, 153 men they killed. His crossbows did really well, 215, 205, very good. His cav could have done a little bit better, but it was fighting a lot of enemy cav, getting 93 kills. His dismounted Hildagos certainly could have done better, 96 kills. A bit of a shame there. And then we have Anzac, who's playing as Castile. His general only getting 33 kills before he dies, a bit of a shame. Then his spears here, 145 kills. His pikes did okay, 83. They kind of forced back a lot of enemies more than like getting kills. Then his light swords, 98 kills. Is probably one of the better light sword units, like for kills anyway. His Monteros here getting 149 kills. His dismounted Cavalry's 83. Not great. Maybe these units not that great, maybe. His crossbows 158 kills. His cavalry did very well, 294, 221. Then we have Paranoid here, who was playing as the other Castilian army. 111 kills with his King's Bodyguard, 199 kills with his pikes, 141 with the other. His light swords, 93 kills. His Monteros here getting 156. His Caballeros 106. His Javis getting 143 kills, did very well. His cavalry getting 131. And there you go. So we'll then move on to Mature Child, who's playing as one of the Almohad Caliphate armies, getting 186 kills with his spears. 209 here, actually. Another one, even better. These spears are really, really good. His Jun's swords getting 60 kills, 69 kills, 156. Very nice. His heavy crossbows, 197. And his cav, did got nothing. And his Cuppa Dance here, playing as another one of the Arab factions, or Arab nations. 208 kills with his cavalry here. The spears 136, the swords 120, 153. Crossbows again getting a lot of kills, 207. His cav getting 152. Then we have Prem here, who's playing as the Caliph's army, 111 kills with the Caliph himself. And then 219 kills with the spears. His swords 164, his crossbows 152, and his cav 428. Very nice. Then we have Mythic Heat here. His general did very well, 246 kills, 48 kills. His spears 126. It seems like these spears are really, really good. Like I said, this common theme going on with these armies. The swords 112, his crossbows 108, and his cav getting 69 kills. Very nice. But if you enjoyed this one, guys, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. I hope you did enjoy this historical battle. Certainly it was interesting to see a change in history. It certainly was fun to play. And yeah, until next time, I will see you in the next one.